It is Sunday, June 3rd, 1554. In rural Perthshire, a father and his young son are playing a quiet game of bowls on the green behind the local parish church. Suddenly, 66 heavily armed men swarm the churchyard. Led by a local laird named John Butter of Gormack, the mob descends on the bowling green and hacks George Drummond and his boy to pieces in broad daylight. The motive behind the hit is entirely territorial. George Drummond, an ambitious newcomer who had recently bought up land and erected Newton Castle, encroaching on the established boundaries that Clan Butter controls. John Butter's men deployed the tactics of a territorial syndicate, violently eliminating a rival to maintain their regional monopoly. The Crown retaliates with lethal speed. Royal authorities officially outlaw John Butter, putting him to the horn, while 2 of his accomplices are captured, dragged to Edinburgh, and publicly beheaded. Desperate to survive, the remaining Butters endure a humiliating 5-part penance. They agree to fund perpetual prayers, pay a massive 1,000 Merk settlement in blood money to the widow, and kneel before the surviving Drummonds with drawn swords offered by the point. The clan learned a critical lesson from this near-extermination. Brute violence attracts the king's executioners, but a well-written legal contract is bulletproof. To maintain their grip on Perthshire, the clan traded the broadsword for the ironclad legal document, initiating a centuries-long evolution of their survival strategy. Feudal land tenure operates very much like a modern corporate monopoly attempting to prevent asset leakage. This flowchart illustrates the mechanics of the 1577 Collace Marriage Contract. John Butter gifted an estate to his son, but embedded a strict reversion clause. If his son failed to produce a male heir, the land snapped immediately back to the main family line. To secure their vulnerable borders in the highlands at Faskally, they established a military protection racket. They legally aligned as a formal sept of Clan Murray, paying tribute for the protection of Europe's only private army. You can see the physical identifier of this alliance right on their uniform, pinning the Murray juniper plant badge directly to their bonnets. This meticulous organization extends to the clan's identity. Their surname is steeped in tactical history, linked to a Gaelic cattle road, a booming bittern bird, or medieval dairy cellars. Their territorial footprint anchored itself across 3 highly defended strongholds: the agricultural center of Gormack, the strategic highland threshold of Faskally, and the massive modern estate of Cluny Moor. Their heraldry broadcasts clear intimidation. Their official crest features disembodied hands drawing a bow, while their coat of arms displays a severe black cross flanked by 4 bleeding red hearts. Legal traps holding the land, mercenary alliances guarding the borders, and stark, violent branding to warn off competitors formed an impenetrable aristocratic cartel. By the 20th century, descendants of the Bowling Green hitmen leveraged this wealth to move their legacy into the highest echelons of global high society. In 1946, Major Sir David Henry Butter married Myra Alice Werner, a union tying the Scottish clan directly to the Russian Imperial Romanov dynasty. They secured an intimate, lifelong bond with the British royal family. The integration was so complete that Queen Elizabeth II herself served as the godmother to their eldest daughter. Through generations of calculated alliances, the family successfully bridged the gap from rural outlaws to the trusted confidants of the world's most powerful monarchs. Yet the shadows of 1554 linger. Years after the Bowling Green Massacre, when a Butter associate tried to court the murdered laird's daughter, the victim's widow stood at her castle window, brandishing her dead husband's blood-soaked shirt, screaming at the suitor to get back over the hill. Today, despite their royal ties and massive wealth, Clan Butter is legally classified as an Armigerous family. This means they possess the historical heraldry and the land, but legally they have no recognized clan chief. The throne remains empty. Did the Butter family truly escape their past, or are they forever bound by the blood they spilled to build their legacy? It makes you wonder what dark history might be hiding behind your own family name.